here, Dave. Can you explain to everybody what's about to happen here?
Well, we are about to talk to perhaps one of the greatest guitarists I've ever seen.
I know.
I mean, just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I've spent the better part of a week just on YouTube watching Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong, the biker is here. Lance Lopez, and we're just really excited to talk to him.
And we are, and he's, as far as we know, not on any performance enhancing.
Just like Lance Armstrong.
Right. All right. It's time for our show.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie show on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is the Minutia Men Celebrity Interview with Rick and Dave.
So, Dave, super excited. Our guest, he's a youngster. He's only 45, but he's already had a heck of a career spanning 30 years as a blues guitarist. I'm not a mathematician, but I think that means he started playing professionally when he was 15. He's been praised by Jeff Beck, Johnny Winter, ZZ Top. Not too shabby. Please welcome to the show, Lance Lopez. Lance, thanks for coming on.
Hey, guys. How are y'all doing? Thank you so much for having me, man. Thanks for the kind words.
Oh, sure. For the listeners that don't know you, how would you describe your guitar style?
Oh, man, I'm a blues rock guitar player. I mean, I'm a blues guitar player at heart. I mean, that's kind of naturally what I do, but I'm heavily influenced by rock music as well. So it just kind of, and R&B and soul and all different sorts of other music. So it just comes out into a blues rock kind of a way, and then just environmentally influenced by where I grew up in Texas. So it just kind of all comes out in a big, heavy Texas blues rock kind of guitar-a-thon, like you said before, but no performance enhancing drugs. not anymore.
And those weren't performance enhancing before either.
No, they were the exact opposite.
You thought at the time they were performance enhancing, but so you just mentioned your Southern roots is really apparent. I imagine, that really must have had a huge influence on your style and the music and what you play, right?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I didn't realize it as a kid, where I grew up, kind of where the blues began, being born in Louisiana. And I remember being a toddler seeing, old black guys with straw hats and acoustic guitars and slides on the front porches and going, wow, what was that? And so just environmentally growing up in it, and then moving to Texas, and the introduction into the blues in a major way, and then being in the middle of the Texas blues scene, just landing there as a child, it just environmentally influenced me, being in that same region. So, it just was and that was the way that I learned. I just had to go out and ask whoever was available then. And that's, being in Texas, that's where I was at,
Well, that explains that whole Stevie Ray Vaughan vibe that I get off you. I mean, I know that you were only 12 when he died. I saw him a couple of times and I watched you. I definitely, there's a vibe there that you have some of that Stevie Ray Vaughan magic.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you, man. Well, that was my introduction into the blues. I mean, I knew that I was headed that direction. I was playing guitar in the 80s, when everybody was shredding and everybody wanted to be Ed Van Halen or Randy Rhoads, which is great. I mean, that's amazing. But, I was drawn more to the bluesier guitar players and so, and my dad had introduced me to B.B. King, and then it was like, oh my God, that's what I was looking for. And so when we moved to Dallas, I opened a newspaper and saw that B.B. King was playing in Dallas, and I asked my mother, I said, can you take me to see B.B. King? And when we went, Stevie Ray Vaughan was playing, and I had no clue who Stevie Ray Vaughan was. I didn't know anything about him, and he came out on stage, and it was just life-changing. And then B.B. King and Stevie Ray played together.
Wow.
And I mean, I was probably 4 or 5 rows back, and that was the first blues jam I ever witnessed. So from that day forward, I knew I was like, I want to play the blues forever.
Have you named your guitar like B.B. King?
Yeah.
Man, they all have different names. Yeah.
Really? What are some of the names? Is Rick and Dave? Do you have a couple that are from
I don't have a Rick and Dave yet. I haven't talked to Gibson about that.
Yeah, please do.
Special Rick and Dave models built.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
No, but what are some of your names of your guitars?
I have my Blue Firebird. We call the Blues Bird. My Les Paul's the Barton Creek Burst, named after Barton Creek in Austin. I got the guitar in Austin, so Billy Gibbons actually named that guitar. We call it the Creaker now. Really, is what we call it. It went from the Barton Creek Burst to just the Creaker. And then the White Flying V's called Sugar. I mean, they all have different little names.
What about like Steve or Mike? You don't have like
no Steve or Mike's yet. No, we don't have any. We'll have to work on that. We'll have to add to the collection.
Well, we're calling you from Chicago, where good God, the blues is a huge part of our lives.
Man, I just got back from Chicago literally 2 days ago. I was in Chicago all last weekend. Yeah, my girlfriend's from Chicago, so we were up there for a wedding, actually.
Okay,
really?
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were up in Elgin.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's not far
called.
Dude, I love Chicago. Dude, I grew up playing the blues there in the night. We were just talking about this morning. I grew up playing the blues there. My introduction to Chicago was with Lucky Peterson back in the 90s, and I met Bernard Allison and Luther Allison and Junior Wells and Buddy Guy and Lonnie Brooks and the whole Baker Brooks family, Ronnie Baker, Wayne Baker. So I was really accepted into the Chicago blues family, back in the 90s immediately, Kingston Mines, Legends, all those places. I just cut my teeth playing there. We were always in Chicago. Lucky hubbed out of there for a long time, so we were always just kind of left there hanging. So we would always go down to the clubs and sit in and jam, and just it was just such great times. And the festival, playing the festival there, and my girlfriend actually took me to Grant Park and parked me in the middle of it. And I looked around, and I go, wait a minute, isn't this where they have the blues?
I played here. I played in this room.
That's funny.
It was really cool. But I love Chicago. It's one of my favorite places on earth, man. I love that city.
So, I read somewhere that Jimi Hendrix was also an influence on you. Some of those classic rock guitarists, you talked about the blues, but those rock guys, I guess actually those rock guys were all influenced by the blues too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All those, they were, that's why I was kind of drawn to that. I think that generation, while everybody was shredding and had neon and pink and green guitars and were pointy, and I was over there with, a little old Gibson and a Fender amp, trying to figure out, Leslie West and Jimmy Page and Alvin Lee and Clapton and Jeff Beck and all those guys, and everybody else was shredding. And so that was cool, but it just, my heart was not drawn to that style of guitar. I was going to the generation before.
And the leather pants are not the leather pants are not that comfortable.
And with Texas, the Texas heat, come
the
on.
Heat, it gets
I'm
a little
not wearing
swampy.
These things. Yeah, come on.
Right.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I guess that could have been a part of it too.
Right. Yeah.
So you just put out a great album titled "Trouble Is Good." And should be Trouble Is Great, because this is a great album.
It is.
It's your first release in 5 years. I suspect COVID is probably a big reason for the layoff. And we really love, we've talked to so many authors and musicians and actors that COVID was just a cluster. You couldn't go out. Right. But so tell us about the album. Tell us, I would assume it's a 5-year layoff. What went into it? Why, first of all, why did it take so long, and how did it come about? And just talk to us about the evolution of the album.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words on the record. And yes, we worked really, really hard on it. I went through a lot of transitions around 2018, and went through a divorce, moved to Nashville, had needed a complete change of everything, and to focus on my wellness and health, and to recenter, and kind of went through a little transition, took a bit of a break, and started back playing live again around January of 2020. And went over and played a date for the Arkansas River Blues Society for an IBC thing, and Kingfish Ingram had donated some guitars, and we had this whole thing. And And once I'd announced that show, then offers came in from Europe and Scandinavia. So we started fielding offers, and at that time we were like, okay, we got to make a new record. And at that point, it had been, that 3 years was usually the biggest amount of time between records for me. And so I was prepping for the record. Joey Sykes had called me. I had moved to Nashville, and he was excited about it because he was a Nashville songwriter back in the day, still makes trips from LA out here. And then he ended up moving to Nashville recently. But he was excited I was here, reached out to me. I knew Joey from the Supersonic Blues Machine days, and he had co-written cuts on those records as well as my last album. So we had songs we were still working on, and had songs that that were still sitting there that we needed to finish, as well as music I had been writing upon moving to Nashville, and he knew that I was working on a bunch of new stuff as well. During my time, of hanging and taking a break, I was hanging with the great John Hyatt here. He took me under his wing when I moved to Nashville. He was like kind of my guy when I first landed in Nashville, and basically gave me a guitar and said, I want you to write about what you're going through right now. And that's what I did. And that's what we did. And then, at the midst of getting ready to relaunch, COVID. So you're right. I mean, that's and I've been told to really subtract 2 years from the 5 because
because no one was doing anything.
We were just all trying to do a halt, right?
Yeah, we were binging Netflix.
Yeah.
And just snacking out.
Yeah, I've had more Cheetos that year.
Oh man! So anyway, we started. We exchanged ideas, and anyhow, we started. The whole point of Trouble Was Good was that because of COVID happening, it pushed me then into getting a home recording setup, which I talked about for years. People had pushed me to do it so that I could fly on tracks from home. And now I was kind of forced to do it. And so I set up a home recording rig. I started working on guitar amps. Being in Nashville, a lot of these celebrity artists, their big touring acts, had warehouses literally full of broken gear. And they were like, now's the time to get it all fixed because we're not doing anything. So there was loads of work. So I went into that because I've been into the circuitry and tube amplifiers and had designed some amps with some guys. So I went that direction and really kind of refocused on that skill and that whole trade and that whole thing, and just kept me distracted from what was really happening, and then I worked on the record. And so Joey began to get all these great musicians in LA just playing on the record, and we just pulled in some of the best and our guys that we thought were, the best rock players that would sound the best with these songs, because we wanted to make I'm categorized as a blues rock guy. So we wanted to make a blues rock record, record that really focused more on the rock side of the blues rock thing.
So did your work, with the technical side of it, and you mentioned circuitry, did that impact the way that you played? I mean, did that influence from now on, or I would imagine he must have had something, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we're continuously chasing tones. I mean, it really goes into this more of the sound and the feel of the guitar amps and us dialing in things. I mean, there were songs like Trying in the TriStar State and Pick a Swing that I cut with 2 full stacks in my house. I mean, we had a house near Brentwood, and we called it the Jam House. And I lived there with 2 other guys from LA that were kind of in the movie business.
What do the neighbors call the house?
Oh my God. You had one complaint one time, literally everybody, there was like 3 bands on our block, and it was during COVID.
On the other hand, that was OJ's old neighborhood too. Brentwood. Didn't OJ live in Brentwood? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, well, that was LA, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess I either want the murderer or the loud guitar guy. Let's go with the loud guitar guy.
I'm just saying, it's a degree of complaints.
OJ.
It could be worse, is what I'm saying.
Oh my God! Don't imagine going into that neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh look, I found a glove. Where'd this come from? Here's a bloody knife. What happened here?
So anyway, go ahead.
And it sure is loud around here.
I know this is a hard question, and you may not be able to answer it, but your Mount Rushmore of guitarists. You already mentioned, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jeff Beck. But if you had to, and I know you you got to kill some babies here. Your 4 top guitarists, Mount Rushmore. Lance.
Oh, my Mount Rushmore got it. I mean, it'd have to be Jimi Hendrix on top. B.B. King, of course. Oh my gosh, Freddie King, Albert King. I mean, probably would have to go that direction. I mean, I'm drawing from my deepest well of influences, and it'd be Hendrix and the Three Kings. I mean, that's where I kind of would envision my heart to go.
So no monkeys, not Peter Tork.
No monkeys. No, I love the TV show though.
Or the Hanson, not the Hanson, but what's the Hanson?
Yeah, the Hanson brothers, right?
Yeah, no, not so
much
that.
Yeah, I get it. So the album is called Trouble Is Good. It's available. Where can people find the album?
It's available streaming everywhere on all platforms. We got it on, everywhere, Spotify, Apple Music. And then, we've got some really cool limited edition orange vinyl we're doing.
Ooh.
We know that vinyl is a thing again, which it has been for a few years now, and I'm so happy about it. And I grew up, listening to vinyl and learning how to play guitar to vinyl. So it was really cool. This is my second release that's been released on vinyl, and so we did a really special thing by putting it on an orange LP. So we do have those available. Those are available on the Cleopatra Records website, as well as our website, lancelopez.net, and we've got all our links there, as well as the tour dates.
Okay, and are you coming to Chicago anytime soon?
And we're working on it. We were trying to come at the end of October, and we just couldn't make the date work. But we're working with several venues up there to secure a date. We're just, the dates that we're routing through there just keep not working. So we're going to be playing there very soon. Probably going to be after the first of the year, I would assume.
Okay.
Well, Rick has a really cool backyard.
Yeah,
right. The neighbors now those neighbors are going to bitch.
Yeah, that might be a little loud.
Yeah. Probably not that place, but
right. We'll at least get one song in. How about that?
Before the cops show up. Yeah.
Right.
Please let us know though if you're coming to town, and we'll have you on again. I would love talking to you, and Dave and I want to come out and see the show for sure.
So. Oh, absolutely. We will definitely make the hang. We'll have to go get a slice of Illuminati's when I'm
Oh, dude. Now you're talking.
Talking our language.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lance Lopez.
Hey,
this has been a fun chat, and best of luck to you, and keep up the good work. You're one of the best.
Yeah, Trouble is good. Trouble is really good.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.
All right, buddy.
Take it easy, Lance.
Thanks,
man. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
There he is. Lance Lopez.
Go on YouTube. And watch this. It is.
Oh, I know.
I
watched it. I watched it this
week.
week.
And you go into this rabbit hole, and it's just over and over again. This dude is incredible.
Yep, he can play the guitar. All right, special thanks to our executive producer, Tony Lasana with opishows.com. Opie is hippo backwards, OPPIHshows.com. We're distributed by Ed Silla with Radio Misfits. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. It just moved to a better place, radiomisfits.com. And we'll be back again soon with another episode of
Minutia Men Celebrity Interview.
The preceding was a presentation of Opie Productions. Find our other great shows wherever you find podcasts, including opishows.com. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?